Welcome to the channel everyone, Gamer Saver here. Today's video we will be going through 5 steps on how you could save money. This is by far one of my favorite topics to go over. At the end of this video we will be doing an update on my budget. Now let's get into this. For step number 1, you have to have a goal. If you're looking to save money, you need to know why you want to save money. Having a goal makes you accountable. Knowing your why will give it purpose and meaning. Knowing why and what you want to do will make it easier to help build a plan in order for you to achieve your financial goals. It helps you stay motivated, it'll keep you on track, and setting goals will give you a sense of accomplishment. For me, I'm looking to save money so I can retire early. That's my goal. Now I found some stats on hqhire.com. I found that 84% of people don't set goals, which is absolutely insane. 45% of people don't track their goals, so half the people that set goals don't track them. Lastly, just by writing down your goals, which is one thing I love to do, and having a plan to get there, 10x's your likelihood of success. On to step 2. At number 2, I have making a budget. This might come as no surprise. In my experience, I found a lot of people are scared of this, and I'm not quite sure why, because it's very easy once you get the hang of it. I think knowing where your money is going and being aware of your spending is one of the most important things in learning to save money. There are a ton of tools out there, there's tons of apps. My favorite is the DollarWise app. Once you connect your bank and your credit card accounts, it will track your spending for you. It'll really help bring structure to your budget, and it's also a great tool to assist in exposing and managing your spending habits. And if you also haven't noticed, usually your banking apps or credit card apps will also have budgeting tools and ways to help you manage your money. I personally use Google Sheets. The link is in the description if you want to follow along with my weekly updated budget. I like it because it's easy, it's free, and it's accessible. Before I do my budget, I typically start with a pen and a paper, and I review all of my spending and charges for the week of the month, and then I categorize them. However you decide to do your budget, whether it's with pen and paper or some sort of app, what's most important is that you find what works best for you and that you're on a frequent basis keeping up with your budget and being aware of where your money is going. With that, we're going to be going on to step 3. For step 3, I have review fixed expenses. Now typically when people think of fixed expenses, they think of expenses that happen every week or happen every month that you don't have much control over. This is not true. In my opinion, fixed expenses are often overlooked, and I have 4 examples of different fixed expenses that I believe you can find ways to save money. First up is food, groceries. According to Google, all the stats I have for these 4 different topics I've gotten from Google. But for food, the average person spends $504 a month on food. I actually think this is very reasonable, and this is where I find myself spending on food. If you find yourself spending more than this, I would suggest tracking it going forward and maybe looking for ways to spend less money at the grocery store, whether that be buying things that you typically would buy, but buy them in bulk, and also cooking more meals at home. Next up, I have car insurance. I hear from people way too often the crazy amounts that they spend on car insurance each month. It's important to shop around and get quotes from different companies. The average the American spent on car insurance each month is almost $200. You could take a defensive driving course to save upwards of 10% on your car insurance, and also by paying 6 months at a time or even a year at a time instead of monthly could also give you an additional 10%. Next up is another one I hear way too much from people. Absolutely crazy numbers that they pay for this, and that's your phone bill. The average phone bill in the US is $141. I spend $15 a month with Mint Mobile, so seeing $141 as the average is absolute blasphemy. First up, I would avoid financing a phone. If you already have a phone financed, I would recommend paying it off as quick as you can and then not getting another phone and refinancing again and getting stuck in that loop. It's important to find the plan that's best for you, whether you need 5 gigs a month or an unlimited plan. I use Mint Mobile as I recommended, but you can also use Pure Talk, Boost Mobile. There's a bunch of other companies that have very cheap phone plans. Last up for fixed expenses, I have subscriptions. Review all the subscriptions you have and see if there's any that you can cut out. I've recently cut a few out of my budget. The average that people spend on subscriptions each month is $90. I was actually a little bit surprised by this and thought it'd be much higher. By looking through all your subscriptions, you might find one that you haven't used or forgotten about. According to selfinc.com, 55% of respondents to a survey they put out found that they had at least one unused subscription. Next up, we're moving on to a different type of expense. For number 4, I have set limits on variable expenses. Variable expenses are costs that you can control, and they fluctuate on a week-to-week or a month-to-month basis. Now, the few that I wrote down are the ones that I think you could find the most money saving from, and that's vacation/fun, eating out, and miscellaneous bullshit. Now, for vacations and fun, the number I found that the average person spends on a year-to-year basis is absolutely insane. So for vacations, the average person spends $7,249, and for fun, the average person spends $3,635, just over $10,000. Now, you might be significantly under these numbers. If you have no debt, I think it's totally fine to go on vacations and have fun. I personally love doing those things, but you need to make sure that the amount you're spending on these things in relation to your income is reasonable. Next up is eating out. Now, this is something that most people do, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average person spends $328 per month on eating out. This is something that if you are in debt or if you're looking to save money, that is very easy to cut out. You simply just need to not eat out and cook more food at home. Lastly, we have miscellaneous bullshit. Now, this is kind of all-encompassing of all the things that you could spend money on that are outside of your necessary spending, such as utilities and groceries. Overall, it's okay to spend money in these categories, especially if they motivate you and bring you happiness, but it's important to consider the debt situation you're in and the percentage of money you're spending in these categories in relation to your income. It's important to set reasonable limits on these categories so that you don't overspend. A cool rule that I found, I don't really use it because I think 30% of money on fun is absolutely insane. It is the 50-30-20 rule, where you spend 50% of your money on needs, 30% of your money on fun, and 20% of your money towards savings and paying off debt. Everyone is different in the amount of money that they want to spend on certain things, so it's important to find the spending percentages that are suitable for you and your financial situation. Last up, we are going to number 5, which is to reward yourself and to make it fun. When you achieve your goals or make progress on them, it's important to reward yourself along the way to help keep you motivated and on track, whether that be buying something for yourself or going out or planning your next vacation. It's also important to try to make it fun. For me, I make things fun by seeing how little I can spend on things and making it a challenge. If that doesn't work for you, you might need a little bit more flexibility in your budget so that you don't feel like you're being held back in your spending. I hope you find at least one, if not all of these steps helpful to you in some sort of way in your journey in saving money and building wealth. Now, lastly, before we wrap this video up, we're going to go through and update my weekly budget. For checking and savings, we are at $3,045, slowly building that up throughout the year. 401k, we at $30,371. This was a pretty big jump with only adding about $100 a week. Stocks though, for Roth IRA and my brokerage account, they didn't see much movement this week. Roth IRA is at $36,551, and the stocks account is at $24,310. Home value went up $1,100 to $163,300, which brings the total assets to $257,577. Mortgage balance is the same, which brings us to a total net worth of $169,370, with an increase of $2,482 for the week. Income for the week was $982, combined between the grocery store job and the eBay business. And weekly expenses were $241, which is a very good week, well below the average that we're shooting for each week. That wraps up this week's video. If you have any questions or recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. And remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you save. Catch you next week.